Yeah, welcome to a new episode of the Experience SAP podcast by Savanta. So with a rather new podcast, you have a lot of first times. This first time with an external guest. And I'm really happy that we were able to convince Andreas Hauser, SVP AppHaus Network at SAP, to be my guest today. And I'm looking forward to a great conversation about the AppHaus, the concepts of the AppHaus Network. What does a partner need to have in order to become an AppHaus Network partner, about the connection between design, enterprise architecture, about the BTP. So really looking forward to the conversation. Yeah, Andreas, welcome to the podcast, to the Experience SAP podcast. I'm so glad you managed to join today. You're the first kind of external podcast guest. So far, we only had Savanta guests. I'm really, really happy and really, really appreciate that you took the time for the podcast today.
Sure. Pleasure being here.
So we both know each other from the AppHaus, mainly in the AppHaus Network as a member of the AppHaus Network. I guess most of the listeners also know you mainly out of that area. You're kind of the face for the AppHaus Network. So maybe you talk a little bit about yourself and the idea, the concept behind the AppHaus.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. First of all, thanks for the invitation. Very happy to be here. And the AppHaus is a co-innovation space where we co-innovate with our customers, with the end users, together with the partners, and make innovation real. And our slogan is humanize business through design and making innovation real. And it is not just a space. That's really very important because important is the space helps you to have a creative environment. And unleash a little bit of creative potential. But it's important, there's also an interdisciplinary team, people with business skills, with technology skills, but also, and that's what we add, is design thinking and UX and design skills to really focus on the human aspect. But that's not sufficient. You need to have an approach where you involve the end users, customers, from the beginning on in an iterative way. That's our human-centered approach for innovation. And it's important also nowadays to react much faster as an organization to changing needs. This means leadership is an important element. That means we are a little bit front runner of future of work. It's not just a top-down leadership, so it's really about empowering employees to come up with their own ideas. And last but not least, you can talk about innovation and creativity and design thinking a lot. What finally is needed to make innovation real. And that's why we use the SAP Business Technology Platform to make innovation real in very concrete customer projects. It was a long story, but the AppHaus is really all together, make innovation real. And I have 5 locations that SAP runs. And we've even built up a network of AppHaus locations and partners globally. And I'm so excited to be here. You're one of the amazing partners. We have now 17 partners all over the world, from Australia to China to UK, altogether more than 12,000 employees. It's a very powerful network of individual companies who make innovation real using the Business Technology Platform, using a human-centered approach for innovation, and finally, with one goal, making our customers happy and help them to innovate fast.
Wow, yeah, so pretty impressive. I think, like you said, most know the AppHaus for its locations. So they know the Heidelberg location. A lot of customers already went there, and with all customers I talked to, they are really amazed about the atmosphere in the AppHaus, about the workshop formats, about the whole mood that's in there. They're all pretty excited about that. But you said it's not only the location; it's really the skill set behind it, the methodology behind it, and everything. So talking about the AppHaus Network, so what qualifies a partner to become part of this AppHaus Network?
I think we are looking for like-minded partners. That means SAP has more than 20,000 partners, and we are definitely looking for partners who are really experienced with the Business Technology Platform. That means having a profound technical knowledge, but very important for us is also the DNA. That means really knowing that you have to start with the people. on the customer side, bringing IT, business, end users together to come to. Because I really learned, now more than 30 years now with SAP, that this approach leads to faster and better value for our customers. And it means we are looking for partners who have also this DNA, have a certain amount of design thinking and design skills, and use this human-centered approach, and have a creative environment. It's with the combination of these elements. But you are right, I think there's one probably misperception about the AppHaus. People think, that's a cool space. We go there, do a design thinking workshop, create post-its, and have a great day. It's not about that. For sure, it's part of it. But there's one very clear goal, making innovation real at the end and having a live customer using our solution. Therefore, I would like to probably clarify this misperception, that it's not just a cool space. It's really about creating business value. What would you?
Where do you see the AppHaus in this cloud world at the moment? Because I totally understand, and I think all the customers know how SAP used to be. You have your SAP system. You do a lot of customization. You do a lot of custom development on top, and that's how you could understand the AppHaus idea. Saying, okay, we really need to understand what does the user need. Building the perfect solution for the user, and this means building add-ons, doing customization, doing custom development. Now with everybody talking in a cloud mindset, more software as a service solutions, more fit to standard, a lot of people say, okay, the standard is there, standard is good, why not use that? So where's the space for an AppHaus, for this human-centered design approach in this world where everybody says, okay, why not use the standard? The standard is great. Where's the space then for this customization, this add-ons, this human-centered design in this world?
It's a great question. And, I think our customers buy SAP software for the 80% case to cover the standard processes. But they still need to react on changing needs very fast. And honestly, it is a huge transformation for the entire industry. Our customers, they have a lot of on-premise solutions. They don't go to the cloud tomorrow and make a switch and everything runs perfectly, because they need to also then standardize on business processes that they optimized in the beginning for themselves. It's a huge transformation for all of us, for SAP, for our partners, and for the customers. And where I see where the AppHaus is currently helping with the transformation to the cloud, our customers have sometimes 100 systems, on-premise, SAP and on, and they want to move into cloud, and the BTP is a great step. That means it's in the cloud, they can innovate fast in the cloud, they learn, and by this, over time, can move more into this direction. I think, therefore, still there is a need for customers to react fast, and the pandemic showed it. They had to even change their business models overnight, and therefore, I think for sure one option is getting to the standard, but sometimes they also need to react fast and in a couple of weeks make something happen. Therefore, the BTP is the foundation that helps customers doing this. And the AppHaus, with our human-centered approach, we really help to accelerate this also from a methodology point of view.
Okay, so also, if I understand you correctly, also using the BTP as kind of a technology for bringing people actually in the cloud. So it's not like, okay, you need to have all the systems already in the cloud, and then you use BTP on top to do customization, to do add-ons, but also using BTP as kind of the accelerator to start now directly to bring people into the cloud. Saying even if you have still a lot of on-premise systems, and we all know that the customers still have on-premise systems out there, you say, okay, BTP helps us as AppHaus Network members and partners, you as SAP, to work together with our customers to come up with solutions that are already cloud ready, already part of the cloud, even if not all of the systems are already in a cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we did the last 9 years about 1,000 customer projects, and customers are on different maturity levels. And we see cases where customers start small, small project, probably helping employees in a certain factory, building this in the cloud on the BTP, and then expanding this to more factories. It's also a complete different model. It's not I buy software and just run it. I think I start in one area, create a value, and then extend and scale it more globally. And I think we got very good experiences with this, and customers really like this approach that they can learn also, because it's also a learning exercise for customers. They have sometimes big IT organizations, sometimes thousands of people, the big customers, and they also need to move into a new world. They need to change their mindset to develop in the cloud. It's different than developing on-premise. Huh? And I think we need to support also our customers on this journey to move into the cloud. Huh?
Mm-hmm. So it's more like a different, I don't know if it's a different approach, but saying it's like this: start small, scale fast. So you think it's kind of inherent into BTP that you don't have to start in all different areas. So BTP is not like, okay, it's a lot of different things, and it's a really powerful platform, but you don't have to start everywhere. You can start really with single use cases, small use cases, and scale the use cases and kind of, you're not overwhelmed because you have to know everything right from the beginning, but you can also be next to the customer and help them doing the first steps in BTP then.
Yeah. What I see in our customer projects, customers most times don't do this big bang, now move from the old world to the new world in 3 years. For sure, they have big plans and work on that. But what they want to be more innovative, more agile, more faster reacting on the business needs. And therefore, the BTP is the ideal platform, because, the focus is on business. This is what we are known for 50 years. We have a lot of knowledge, how to really innovate in the business context. And it's not just having a platform on the side. You can build with every platform quickly an app, and that's not a problem. The challenge is this needs to be integrated into your existing environment. And because your data is residing in your processes, and that means this is where our focus with the BTP is really helping the customers extending, integrating, or getting value out of all the data that they have already in the system. And I think, therefore, the Business Technology Platform is a great solution to start in the cloud to create customer value.
I think it's pretty related to the BTP world we're just talking about. But I remember from a joint panel discussion we had at SAP Now some time ago that you're also a big fan of enterprise architecture. Mm-hmm. Saying okay, and I was already wondering a little bit at that time, saying okay, well, you're known for the AppHaus, for the design world, for the human-centered design approach. Enterprise architecture is really something for me. It was at that point maybe at a different. At another side, a different part of the paper. So how do you see those two worlds working together? So enterprise architecture and design, human-centered design.
It's a great question, because now I remember when 2004 Hasso Plattner went on stage at Sapphire and said, SAP now does design thinking. Mm-hmm. This is where this whole transformation of SAP with design thinking started. I was an honor to be part of this journey. And the fundamental, we asked him, why did you say that? Because he said, when we started with the company, I was a developer sitting beside the user. I was asking user questions and iterating. Wasn't called design thinking. And at the time, we were 50,000 people. We unlearned. We specialized in roles. We globalized. We didn't work with the end users. This is where this whole focus on humans came in. It's also how the AppHaus started 9 years ago, with focusing on UX, usability, with this human-centered approach. But what I learned over time is you need to make it real in the complex customer environment. And this is where we developed the methodology to the next level. That means enterprise architecture. And it's really, when the first time heard about enterprise architecture, you talk with technical people, and they talk about lots of technical stuff. And yes, there's also user. If you talk with the design thinking people, it's just the other way around. Mm-hmm. They say it's a lot about user and design thinking and so on. And yes, there's technology. And I think you need to get the two worlds together, because I really learned you're only successful as an innovation team if you finally make it real, and not just have an idea on paper or a POC, making it real in a custom environment. Therefore, I think what is really great for our customers, with this enterprise architecture methodology, they align their business goals, their vision, where they want to go from business, with their IT architecture, having a target architecture, having an understanding where they want to get from an IT infrastructure and technology and software point of view. And now, if a business comes with a problem, you know exactly this is where you want to go, and how do you now make this real in this existing environment, and also having in the view where do you want to get. And I think what I see at customers is that yes, this takes time, to really look what is my target, I bring it together. But the big benefit, you will be very much faster in creating innovations in your existing environment. And this is where we, from a methodology point of view, combine now design thinking, design doing with UX design, and architecture thinking. And what we did with our human-centered approach for innovation, we focused on the minimum. Because if you look at all these methodologies, because we talk too much about methodologies, I think we focused on what really matters, what is really minimum needed, that we are also efficient, because you can waste a lot of time doing this. Therefore, we tried to have a lean architecture approach and pick the elements that really fit together. And the good thing is we make all this knowledge available for free on our AppHaus page, in our innovation toolkit, with templates, with best practices, because we fundamentally, getting back a little bit, what is our vision? Why do we do it? And my vision, so our vision is human-centered innovation in all customer engagements. And all customer engagement means 450,000 customers, more than 20,000 partners. They all come from with a technology mindset. And I think we need to transform that. You have to start with the people. This is where I really have a passion for, because I really learned that you get to much better and faster results if you start with this and not just throw technology on people. And I can tell you funny stories. I think the eye-opening moment when we get our customers into an AppHaus where IT, business, and the users are very often the first time together in one room. And then IT says, oh, let's do IoT and machine learning. And the user says, sorry, I have a completely different problem. I think I need to get a solution here. And with this design thinking and the approach, getting the people together, we first of all help the customer agreeing where is really the problem. Because I saw too often in our industry, cool technical solutions, build a cool POC, but never used by people because it didn't solve a problem. And this is what we want to change with this approach. And probably talking a little bit about this approach, I tell you, this is not rocket science. But it started with Explore. And the Explore phase, you bring business, IT, end users, and all relevant people, also from SAP and the partner side together, and exploring where is a high value case that you can make happen. Step number one. The second one is you step into the shoes of the end user in the discover phase. And this is typically the eye-opening moment also for the customer. Because very often, the people that we talk with in IT, they say, I was working in this role for 20 years. I know exactly what they need. And we say, if you want to work with us, that's mandatory. And always, when we take them half day into the factory or to the end user, say, I should have done this 10 years ago because I thought it's different. And I tell you a very concrete, really funny story. I just had a call this morning with a former colleague who told me this one. This was a customer. They have pressure boilers, and they need to do an inspection regularly. And in IT, they build up a mobile team. And say, okay, and what they have to do after inspection, they have to fill out 20 pages of documents. And the IT organization said, let's build a mobile app, bring these 25 pages on the mobile phone, on an iPhone. And then we did user research. We went on site. Now, the cool thing is these people go into the spoilers with a yellow dress and come out black. The mobile phone, and even they need to have special cameras to make the pictures. Now, the other interesting observation was when we looked at what do they fill out, more than 90% of the data on this document was already in the system. It was master data. Now the solution was, because the data was in multiple systems, to get this data, get this into a PDF, and finally they only had to fill out 3 fields. And this is where I think it was a good example showcasing why this human-centered approach brings so much power. Because I tell you, what would have happened in the old way? They would have built a mobile app, building 20 pages on a mobile phone. The user would not use it. A lot of waste of time. And now, by changing this way and creating mock-ups, visualizing, to make changes on the mock-up, it's much cheaper than later on when it's developed. And therefore, I fundamentally believe in this human-centered approach. And it's not rocket science, but it's a change in mindset, how you work, and how you create faster value.
No, I totally agree. So I think everybody who works in that field and did design thinkings, did shadowings. We're a big fan of shadowings, for example. So really understanding how the user works, really walking next to him, sitting next to him, doing the same things, and understanding where are the workarounds. We all have those stories. To see, okay, the way you thought your software would work in the beginning is it's used totally different if you don't ask the user right from the beginning. And I see that you can really convince also management with those examples a lot easier, saying, okay, don't waste money. Do it the right way from the beginning. Do this little more invest on this investigation phase and doing the shadowings, asking the user, and then you will save a lot money at the end of the day. And what I also can totally agree, or will totally agree with, is this combination, because we were coming from this enterprise architecture approach, and said that's what we always try to do, is saying if we design things and if we come up with concepts, we know that we can also build them, and we know from the beginning that we can scale them. So it's not that it's really only design. We start with a white paper, do something, and later on give it to the technical people, and they say, okay, interesting approach, but it's not doable. So I think this combination is so essential, and to also show everybody that the human-centered design approach works, because the concepts, the solutions that we build are really able to scale, are really able to get into production. And that's what I understood is your idea also about this combination of enterprise architecture and human-centered design, to make sure you don't build something that is not going to, is not realizable at the end of the day, because you don't know your data, you don't know your system. So you have to have this knowledge about what is doable, how does the system look like, and what can we design within those boundaries?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something that we also worked on the last year is, if you look at a business technology platform, it's first of all a platform, and we had challenges in explaining, okay, what are the use cases, what's the value. I mean, it's now the last years we invested a lot in creating use cases that customers can jumpstart much faster. That means, for example, if you want to do process automation, here's a use case, okay, with the best practice, how can you do this? Or want to do low code, no code, build an app with AppGyver, here's a best practice, how you can make it. I think with these use cases that have a very clear business value, we can also accelerate and help our customers and the partners to faster develop solutions. It means this is something that you can explore in the SAP Discovery Center. There are more than 170 of these use cases available, which helps you also better understanding what are the capabilities of the platform, and more important is, how would it fit to your needs and helping solving your problem? That's something that we also invested a lot in the last years. Also with partners, because you also asked the question a little bit, where is it moving with cloud? I see also more and more partners building in certain areas solutions on the BTP in the cloud and offering this as a standard solution for the customer to faster adopt it. That means not only having custom-specific solutions, but over time, that means having an ecosystem of partners who build also this industry-specific or in certain areas solutions in the cloud that our customers can benefit from. That's also something that I see currently happening with full speed.
So you see this business content really more as so is it the foundation for then the applications customer build, so with a specific use case, or is it also used in a way that you get more information and you open up your mind and see, okay, what is possible with BTP? So kind of a use case repository, a content repository, understanding, okay, others did that. Well, this is not what I need, but I understand the concepts and learn from that concepts and can build something based on that idea for myself.
It's a good question, because we did several validations of these use cases now in the last couple of months, and it really depends on the customer, because customers are on different maturity levels. That means from just starting, getting to know, they use the use cases to learn and say, okay, what is possible? How can I use it? And then there are other customers who already build a lot of solutions on their own on the BTP, and they're then looking more for the more complex use cases for the next level. Therefore, this is something that that we also experienced in very concrete customer projects, that you really need to look, where is the customer currently? And it's both. It's definitely learning, but definitely also then helping to adopt, to faster create value out of the business technology platform.
Yeah, so personally, I'm a big fan of this business content principle, because what we see with customers a lot is, okay, it's not obviously this one size fits all solutions, but it's a lot of similar problems, a lot of similar challenges out there. So if we have the business content, but we're still able to enhance the content, adapt the content, but we have this 80% solution already there, but we can adapt it to really fit to the customer's needs, then it's something where it really helps us, because most of the time the real use cases are a little bit different depending from one customer or coming from one customer to the other customer. So I really like this idea of having this as the foundation, having this as the 80% solution, but I'm still able, with the possibilities, with the tools and all the services I have on BTP, to enhance it, build something on top, and then really come up with a solution that actually fits the customer's needs.
And I think that's our benefit as SAP now, with 50 years experience in the industry, that we can provide these templates, this business content, to jumpstart faster. That for sure customers always want to adapt it to their individual needs, but I think that's exactly the direction to make the platform also really a success.
So would that also be your number one tip? If we're in a situation, I would be in a situation saying, okay, I just kind of bought the SAP BTP in one way or the other. Maybe it's a RISE deal and I have some credits. Maybe I have a cloud platform enterprise agreement. But now I have the platform. I'm just asking myself, okay, maybe I don't have a specific use case, but I would like to get my hands a little bit dirty and learn how to use it. So is the business content the first approach and the first things you look at, or what other ways, or other possible approaches to BTP would you recommend?
My recommendation is, because I think you learn a lot out of doing, and my recommendation is, let's pick one use case that creates a high value for your business. A small project could be a small app, and apply this human-centered approach. Get IT, business end users into one room to explore, step in their shoes, create mock-ups, visualize, make it happen in 2-3 months, learn out of this. Then you start in a very concrete case, learn. In addition, for sure, you can use the use cases to learn more about what the capabilities are of the BTP, no question about. But I think the ultimate goal is making innovation real. That means, therefore, my recommendation would be somebody who starts, and I also experienced in customer conversation, they have BTP, many of them, but they don't know where to start. And then having such an exploration workshop with one business who is interested, okay, what is really your problem? What would you like to be solved in a couple of months? Let's team up, let's do this together, use the BTP for making this happen. I think learning in small steps is something what I experience now in our projects, because what happened, and that's a cool story also that with Rolls-Royce MTU, where they started also small, but they had a big challenge of transforming the organization from building these big ship motors to becoming a service organization. And for them it was clear, yes, one thing is the technology, but they also have to transform the organization. And what they did, reporting to the chief digital officer, they hired 10 design thinking people. We trained them. We helped them how they change their culture. I think this is for the customers, who are on a higher maturity level, probably the next step, because it's also cultural change in the organization. And it's not only about SAP. Yes, we provide great standard solutions and we continue doing this, but also customers need to become much more agile in their organization to adapt to changing needs. And therefore, I think the topic of innovation culture, cloud platform mindset, applying such a human-centered approach also in their own practices is something I think where we can definitely help. And we provide a lot of our knowledge and our innovation toolkit for free for people to jumpstart, to learn. And we're really interested in, and we see more and more partners also going a little bit in this direction, because it's many customers need to transform their business models. And I learned that this human-centered approach is not just for improving usability. The same approach we use for optimizing business process, even rematching business models. And you apply the methodology of doing user research, visualizing what you see, even for more strategic things. This is where I also saw that design is much more strategic than many people, because in Germany people think design is just visual design. But if you look at in the US, design is much broader. And this is also how I see it. This human-centered approach helps to reimagine the way how you work with your employees and putting the people into the center.
But I think this is really important what you just said, because if we talk, and we're talking about human-centered design, about, well, it's not only a space, and the AppHaus not only a space, you need to have different experts, different skills, and then you have different methodologies, and then you have to take enterprise architecture into considerations. It could also end up kind of overwhelming, but I think this is something that we need to highlight. So it's this start small approach also there. There's a lot of templates existing, a lot of stuff that you can really also define on the fly, kind of, because for me it's really, you don't have, it shouldn't end up the other way around, where I say, okay, now I have to do my homework and I have to have design thinking coaches and designers, and I have to have a governance on my enterprise architecture and then I can start doing those things. For me, it's really important to say we can build that, because the templates are there, the frameworks are there, so we can build that together with the customer in those first projects, and we can set up a really solid factory, innovation factory, based on these iterations on the first projects, on the first solutions, scaling the first solutions, adding a second one, adding a third one, building up teams. So I think it's important to state that start earlier, because the stuff is there and the templates are there to
and
do
start
it.
small. What I see, there are very often, you need passionate people to drive this. And I think at our customer, there are passionate people. You just need to give them the opportunity to grow. And we started many years ago at Daimler, where they helped them building up somehow an AppHaus on their campus, building up a design thinking team. And they started with having, 8, 9 people, 20% assigned from different business units. They were passionate. And then it became a real team over time. And I think this is something where my recommendation is start small. Most customers have many of the skills in the organization somehow already, and enabling these people to grow and starting creating small successes, talking about it, marketing the successes, and then learning over time and then extending. It's not, I think we talk very often too much about methodologies, and these are just enablers. I think you always need, therefore I don't talk too much about design thinking, about UX design. I talk about outcomes. I talk about, yes, the methodology is a tool that helps, but there's one very clear goal, getting to a business outcome afterwards. And therefore, use what's there and start small, learn out of it, and share your experiences and work in the community.
Totally right point, because we in the preparation we also talked a little bit about BTP is technology, and technology can help you solve problems, but you have to have the problem, and everybody has the problems, but you have to know how to solve the problem. So you shouldn't only talk about technology, but at the same time we shouldn't do the mistake only talk about methodologies, like you said, and so it needs to come together. And finally, the user tells us and the business tells us, okay, what do we need to solve? And then the combination of having a great platform and great technology with the right methodologies, and the stuff is there, can help you then to really find the use case in the first place and help you also to create and realize it in the right way.
Exactly.
That brings me to another point. We were talking, wanted to ask that as well. Within AppHaus, we said, okay, we can use the methodology to identify the use case, bring in the right people, the stakeholders, the end users, and come up with a great concept that we can build on BTP. I was wondering if you also have workshops and formats, if one step before, really identifying the right use case, or kind of figuring out where's the biggest potential, because my assumption is, and also when I talk to customers, they all have more than one problem they would like to solve, so they have lots and lots of them, and I think there's easier ones and more complex ones to solve in the BTP. So it's also a way to use design thinking, human-centered approach to kind of prioritize those elements.
Absolutely. And honestly, this is what is very often underestimated. The value of this in really identifying the right thing to do. This is exactly what we do in Explore, and sometimes even something before. Because if you look at the company, they have different areas, different lines of businesses. And then we did an exercise in the past where we had workshops with every line of business first, then brought them together and then looked at what are the key elements. You need to look at what is the current challenge on the customer side and how can you best approach it. But I think we are currently even working on something new, because the sustainability is a big topic now. And we are now working on a workshop format for exactly looking at sustainability challenges. And that's already an outlook, what we even plan to then publish on our innovation toolkit somewhere soon. We even think we talked about also that we are a little bit front runner of also future of work as a team. And just recently, we all had the challenge in pandemic, people working at home, people being in the office, and how do you manage this? And we created with our central future of work team a workshop format, 2.5 hours for all SAP teams and managers. How do they deal with the situation? Okay, to get the needs of the individual people, but also the needs of the team. When do they come together? Format, and we rolled it out, was very successful. And we even now made this available on our innovation toolkit for all partners and customers. Because we think it's a problem that everybody has. And therefore, we would like to contribute also to help solving with our knowledge these kind of challenges also in this area. Check it out, it's for free. Great mural templates with a description how to do this. And the next one that we're working on is now on sustainability also, because we see many customers have sustainability as a big topic. We currently do pilots with partners and some customers, and as soon as it's then finished, then we also will make it publicly available for others to try it out.
Nice concept. So you already have, so it's then the combination, okay, that there's certain problems all customers have. Obviously, remote work was such a thing, new way of working was such a thing, sustainability now is such a thing. And then you can bring all the different things together by saying, you have this problem, you have the toolkits, we have the BTP, we can solve it all together. And this is something where you can really, as a customer, use it on your own, or would you recommend asking a partner to support you with that?
I think it's, to jumpstart, I think start looking at it. But definitely, I think it's always good to have help. That's also why we built up this great network of partners that can also help with accelerating this. Because I think it's you need to always tweak and adapt it to your very customer-specific situation. Therefore, it's definitely good to engage also with one of our partners here to help with the transformation.
So thanks a lot. I think a lot of things come together here, and I see that with you, and I think I have a pretty similar mindset. This combination is always key, and BTP is now for me the perfect enabler for what we learned, and that would be one of my my questions coming to an end is like, is how important is BTP for you at the moment? Because is it something where you say this really helps you to to bring customers closer to your ideal image of a software solution? Mm-hmm. So because I think when you started AppHaus, when we started Savanta, we always said, okay, we can improve UX, we can make sure that the solutions actually fit the customer needs. And for me personally, I see that a lot of things now come together on BTP, where I say there's the tools, there's the services, there's the possibility to build applications that actually come really close to how an application, a software solution should look like. I just was wondering if it's a similar picture for you.
Definitely. I think it is never ever just a BTP, because it's always in every project integrated with an S4, SuccessFactors, CX, Ariba, or even the on-premise world that many customers are still in. But I think we are really getting into this being a platform company where on this business technology platform, an entire ecosystem of partners is innovating. Customers are innovating. We are innovating. We use the BTP to build our applications also. Therefore, it is center of everything what we currently do. And the focus is on business, because we are solving customer problems. As a company, this is our mission: help the world run better and improve people's lives. I really like it because it's really very motivating. Because our mission is to improve people's lives. And if you look at our SAP mission to improve people's lives, you need to understand what the needs are. And this is where this human-centered approach is so important. Therefore, and combining this now with making it real using the Business Technology Platform. Therefore, I think it's a great story. I think I'm really, really happy about that we have this very clear strategy. And that together with you as partners really move into this direction, with finally also helping our customers and getting faster business value outcomes with our solutions.
Yeah. So for me, what he said is the faster thing is so important. And that's what we see on a daily basis. BTP helps us to speed up things a lot, and because we know what to use, we know what to do, and this is really key. Also in the combination of having the standard stuff SAP provides, then a lot of business content from SAP, from other partners. So you can always reuse a lot of stuff that is already there. You can always reuse as many things out of the standard that you need to have, but you build on where you need to differentiate yourself against competitors, or you want to just have the competitive advantage. And I think this combination of bringing together the standard content, the standard stuff, plus using custom development in an atmosphere and on a platform that has all the best practices in it really brings out really, really good solutions.
Fully agreed.
Yeah, thanks, Andreas. It was really a pleasure talking to you. We, like I said, I think we have a pretty similar mindset in working with customers. Thanks for having you today, and thank you for the great partnership within the AppHaus Network. I really appreciate what we do together there, and I think there's still a lot of stuff we can do, and to help the customers at the end of the day, like you said, with solving their business problems and their business needs.
Thank you also from my side for the invitation first, but also for the great partnership. And I think this is something where we jointly grow and we jointly learn together with our customers, and it's really an exciting journey. This is what you hear my passion about what I'm doing, because I really fundamentally believe what we do is right here for our customers, for SAP, for the partners, and it's very exciting.
Thanks, Andreas.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Andreas. It was a great pleasure. For me personally, really, really great conversation. I think everybody could hear that we're really like-minded. We have a really similar understanding of how software should look like, how the design work for software should look like. And yeah, at the end of the day, I think the key statement is it's not about design. It's not about human-centered design. It's not about technology. At the end of the day, the really important question is, what does the user need? Where is the business need? Where is the business use case? And this we can solve together and help together with the combination of human-centered design, with BTP, with AppHaus. So thanks again, Andreas. It was a great pleasure.